public relations and social media team for the show, and your MC for the Smart Stage, powered by CE Pro. I've also had the most amazing opportunity to spearhead the brand new TechStarter program at CEDIA Expo. For those that don't know, TechStarter is a competition for all new exhibitors in Innovation Alley, right over there. Yesterday, 3 C-suite judges toured Innovation Alley, hearing their business pitches in a Shark Tank style, with the goal of becoming one of the TechStarter FIVE. And from talking to the judges, many of the brands shone, but today we are talking with the 5 that really stood out. Congratulations to Connected, Hero Labs, Sandtrap, RTO, and Kava, the first ever TechStarter FIVE. Stay tuned after the panel as we award and name one of these brands as the TechStarter winner of 2019. We're going to bring our very esteemed judging panel up to discuss their choices, and our moderator, Walt Zerb, Senior Director of Technology Standards for CEDIA, will interview the judges and the brands before the big announcement of the winner. Walt, Tabitha, Hagai, and Alex, please join me on stage. You're in seat number 4 there, I think. Yep.
Hi, everybody. So here's the funniest part, watching us try to assemble ourselves on stage, right? All right, so Walt, introduction to the audience. No, wait a minute. Just kidding. How are you guys doing? What? Good. How are your feet holding up? Good? Not good. All right, well, you have probably a fair amount of walking to do, but I hope you saw some neat stuff on the show floor. There's a lot of stuff around. And we're going to be going through some 5 exciting companies that we're very excited about. I have some notes. I'm going to also be taking some notes. But anybody go to the keynote last night? Or not last night, night before? All these nights run together. Okay, if you didn't, it'll be on video. It was very, very important. It was about innovation, and it was actually more so about disruption, and putting disruption in with your business and mixing that in with the business. And it was not always about inventing something new, but having a new application to things that already exist. A perfect example of that is Uber. They didn't invent anything new. They just grabbed stuff that already existed and created a new recipe. Okay, so we're going to go through these. Again, we have our judges. We have Tabitha, CEO of CEDIA. We have a guy. He's with Access Networks, and we have Josh with Alex. I did it. His marketing is so good. I just called him Josh. Alex with Josh AI. All right, so let's talk about what we did here. So first of all, we judged everybody, and we had a big criteria for how we judge all the 17 people that we went through. And we're going to have a discussion on that. So here are the categories for you so you can know how we did this. We said the first thing, does the product solve a problem, and does it meet a need? Second was market viability. So is it saleable? Does it have the potential to spawn a new industry, which we have had happen here before? Several ways. Two of the guys are sitting on this stage. We also had a company called IHEG that also spawned a new industry, which was remote control and monitoring of your systems. Funding. Do we think there might be some longevity to the product? Was it innovative? What was their presentation like? What was their branding like? And then there was a bonus for a wow factor. If we walked by and something was like, whoa, that's like amazing, they could get bonus points. So why don't we go ahead and talk about all that stuff, the judging criterion as we walked around. But I will first start it off with a question for each person. So since you're immediately to my left, you're it. I'll just go in sequential order.
Sounds great.
So considering the top emerging trends from the CEDIA Technology Council, and that's a plug, because you guys should learn more about that, which I can talk to you about. How did you see the TechStarter FIVE brands working within these trends?
Great question. So for your plug, he mentioned the Technology Council. We have a Technology Advisory Council, and their focus is to look at any tech, any trend that would have an impact on education, certification, how it will affect a standard that we need to consider. And they meet annually to talk with integrators to determine what is going to be coming up the pike, how it impacts them, and had a chance to think about this, and some of the things they recently just discussed that we were able to see touch on the TechStarter tour that we did yesterday. The top 7 for me as I was walking through and thinking about it was mass centralization, the evolution of content and delivery, IP distribution of content, evolution of lighting. We're seeing quite a bit of that here. One other thing is the insurance, the risk management. We're definitely seeing the insurance companies taking more note of this industry and understanding what that risk management has to do with what our members do.
Yeah, so we identify about 30 trends, and then we do a workshop with integrators to see how might they affect their businesses moving forward. And all 5 of these finalists actually fit right in those trends, which is very cool. So I'm going to move this over to Hagai. So Hagai, you were one of these people that started out here at Expo, right? And you had said when we were walking around that you wished that something like this was available, the TechStarter, when you were starting your business. So what advice would you have for the 5 TechStarters that are here as finalists, as well as the other TechStarters moving forward?
Thanks, Walt. I think that's a tough one because there is a whole set of things that you need to make a company succeed. I think the number one thing is to stay the course and continue and make an effort to integrate into your client's business. So here on the floor, we have integrators walking the floor. We have the exhibitors, the manufacturers. If you're here in Innovation Alley, the number one thought is, how do I cater to the integrator's business? How do I solve a problem for them? And then ultimately, how do I grow that into the entire space to essentially having as many integrators as I can use my solution? And that's exactly what we did. And you have to stay consistent. When we started in 2010 was the first time we came to CEDIA. Most integrators that came by our booth thought we were too expensive, that nobody needed what we did, and there was not enough reliant on the network to really warrant the type of network that we were offering. And we were back here at the end of the show, and we didn't get the attention that we really wanted, and we were vying for that attention. So I'm also happy for all of this happening, because now we have Innovation Alley, and we have this program to put the spotlight on the guys that really deserve it and have something that is really outstanding and has so much potential.
Okay, great. Now we're going to move on to Alex. So Alex, you also came from Innovation Alley here, but previously from Expo, and you're a veteran of that. And you're very focused on technology and on the business side. So were you impressed with their go-to-market strategies and what their plans were for how they're going to move their solutions along?
Yeah, so it was a really cool set of companies this year. And as Walt mentioned, our very first CEDIA Expo that we exhibited at was here in Innovation Alley. And just the feedback we got, the ability to just speak with so many dealers was transformative to how we built our product, built our channel, and really kind of figured out how to grow from there. This year, one of the things that was really exciting for me is I'm used to seeing very clear trends in the general startup market. You know, when Uber got going, it seemed like there were tons of ride-sharing apps. And with things like Uber Eats and the food on delivery, there's a lot of those. And so I was expecting there would be a very clear trend. When we tallied up our top companies from the 22 or so that we reviewed, the amazing thing was there was almost no overlap. There was a lighting company, a music company, a media company, a security company, and a water company. Like, these guys were across the board doing radically different things, but in very cool and very innovative ways. So I was super impressed with just seeing the take on the business model, the take on the product. But one of the categories that we didn't really address too much that we also were excited about was just overall branding and booth design. And these top 5 just really knocked it out of the park with some really cool booth designs and how they present the technology, which ultimately is how the dealer internalizes how they're going to present it to the customer. So I was really blown away.
All right, well, thank you. So we're going to move on, and I'm going to go ahead and invite the TechStarter FIVE up on the stage. So if you guys wouldn't mind stepping down for a minute, we're going to hear from the TechStarter FIVE. So I'm going to announce you one at a time and have you come up. So we would like to do, Ed, you want to come up? You are captain of Soundtrap Audio. That's a very interesting title. Come on, have a seat. And then we have Nate, founder of Connected. Nate, come on up. I'm doing this one at a time so you can associate the name with the face. We have Jeffrey, sales engineer. Come on up with RTO Lighting. Do we have them up there? We do. Great. Christian, come on up, founder of Hero Labs. And then we have Andrew. You are the founder and CEO of Cavo. Thank you for joining us, and congratulations on being the TechStarter FIVE. So, yeah, thank you. All right, so we're gonna learn a little bit more about their businesses. So we might as well just start and go down the line. So Ed, tell us about your business.
We're going to start. Is it working? Oh, we're going to start with the low-tech end of this this row here. My market target is the custom AV dealer who installs in-ceiling speakers, premium in-ceiling speakers. That $600, $800 category. These dealers are installing speakers in sheetrock, and that's the problem. Sheetrock causes a resonance that robs your speaker out of the fidelity that it's capable of. Our solution is to add mass just above the speaker that you attach it to. We call it the sand trap. It's simply 4 little modules, plastic modules, that we ship to the dealer empty because it reduces cost. He fills it with sand. There's your mass. You just stick these 4 little modules up in the ceiling. You install your speaker, it grabs onto it, and wow, you've got mass. You've reduced the resonance of the in-ceiling speaker resonance. You now have fidelity. You've delivered to your customer what they paid for. It's that simple. There's not a whole lot to it like that.
So if you've ever heard of the paperclip, right? Simple idea, but everybody uses it. So don't discount yourself on simple, because simple is actually one of the trends that we talk about on the Technology Council. Is simplicity is the new luxury, as everything gets really complicated. So hey, that's awesome. Anything else you want to mention about it? I mean, where's your booth?
Well, I do not sell to distributors. I do not sell to consumers. I sell directly to my dealer. I want just a small selection of dealers that we're going to work closely with, and we've created an easy to buy plan that's dedicated to small dealers. I think you'll like it if you come by our booth.
All right, very good. So you are located right over there, correct?
Right on the corner.
All right, so let's move to Nate, founder of Connected. Tell us about Connected.
Sure. Well, thanks for inviting me up here. It's great to be on the TechStarter FIVE. So I had a relatively straightforward problem to solve. I was living in a house with an old wired alarm system. I was renting at the time, and my landlord was like, I don't know how to work that thing. So I just wanted to be able to monitor and control my home using the sensors that were already pre-wired in my walls. And I started getting into home automation at the consumer level. I had a SmartThings hub, and I knew that it had security-like features into it. But I didn't want to pay for the subscription fee associated with the traditional alarm system. I also didn't want to stick wireless sensors all around the house and have to change batteries every 6 months. So my background is in software engineering, and I learned about these IoT chips that are programmable, and I came up with an idea to see if I could integrate my old wired alarm system to a smart home platform. And that's what I did, and I thought I was done after that. I pushed the code on GitHub, and I said, here you go, community. Here's how to build an integration with your old wired alarm system. But what I didn't anticipate was hundreds of emails from fans, SmartThings users, and other home automation users saying, Nate, this is great, but I'm not quite as smart as you. Can you just build one for me, and I'll pay you for it?
Right.
And then enough emails like that, and I'm like, well, there's a market here for a product. And so that's how I teamed up with an electrical engineer and came up with the Connected Alarm Panel, which is literally a drop-in replacement for your traditional alarm system panel, and it connects the wires from all of your sensors, your wired door sensors, window sensors, motion sensors, leak sensors, smoke detectors, and connects them to a home automation platform so that you can now monitor and control your home from anywhere without paying the monthly fee, as well as use all of those sensors for automation purposes, such as turn on the lights when the door opens, or turn off the air conditioning when the window is open for too long, for example. And home automation also creates so many more possibilities with presence detection using your mobile phone. So you don't have to remember to arm and disarm your alarm, because it knows when you're home and it knows when you're away, and you get those notifications remotely.
Okay, now you took a very modular approach to this as well. I mean, that's a very gigantic module you have right there. Tell us a little bit about how you build the system with your modules.
Yeah, so this is actually our second generation of the hardware, brand new here at CEDIA, and I do have a larger one that has an Ethernet port also that we just launched at CEDIA. And the idea is that we're rethinking the concept of an alarm system rather than a single device. Why not make the home automation platform the brains or the logic of the alarm? And that's exactly what we've done. And so this modular system can support any number of zones in the home, from a typical 6-zone small townhome to we're talking with integrators today who are building custom homes with 300 sensors. And so you can literally import all of those at the most granular level by simply adding more connected alarm panel modules, either in 6 increments or 12 increments with our Pro board, because they each communicate directly to the home automation hub via a Wi-Fi or an Ethernet connection. And the home automation hub is the brains of it and brings it all together as a coherent security and automation system.
Awesome. Okay, thank you very much. Let's move on to Jeffrey Jalota. So you are a sales engineer at RDO Lighting, and tell us about your idea, how you came up with it, and what it is.
Sure. RDO Lighting enhances your outdoor living space. We produce outdoor lighting fixtures that integrate in with the most popular home automation systems, Control4, Elan, and to run our lighting systems. Being able to create an experience through lighting. We're able to control the hues and the dimming and the colorization to create dynamic scenes so that you can enjoy your total outdoor living space. We came up with the idea of really adding a lot of the software to create these environments. The hardware side we produce, but as we started to specialize and started to realize the home automation systems that are out there, imagine sitting in your backyard, your outdoor lighting starts to change to a warm hue environment of orange and reds, and then one of your popular songs come on. Now you're enjoying a total entertainment system, and our vision is to be able to supply entertainment nightly in a home environment.
All right, tell us about your product range. So you talked about you do manufacture fixtures besides the software. So what type of products do you offer that can, luminaires?
Sure. So depending upon what the items we're going to be lighting, we have a variety of uplighting, linear lighting. These are being able to undercove areas, walls, features like that are in your outdoor living areas. Kitchens are popular for enhancing the light under that, along with traditional uplighting to uplight plant materials and such.
All right, thank you very much. Now we're going to move on to Christian, and we'd like to talk to you about Hero Labs. And again, all these booths are right over there, and you should check them out after this. Tell us about your product.
Right, so I'm going to give you a bit of a background first as to
like
how it all started before I go into the product.
Good.
I started as an integrator, like most of people here at the show. A quite successful company called Andrew Lucas about 12 years ago. We did lots of projects worldwide, including in the US, Middle East, everywhere. So that was a cool experience. We built smart systems for multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires. But after a few years, I realized that I wasn't being fulfilled. I felt something was missing. I felt that even though we delivered cool automation, security and comfort. We really went enriching people's lives. And the technology, even though we called it smart home, wasn't really that smart. It was just quite dumb, in fact. So about 4 years ago, I took 3 of my most trusted employees, locked them up in a room for literally 3 months. Well, kind of
Oh, don't work
all the
for him.
time. It was on and off. But it took us about 3 months of brainstorming sessions, trying to come up with an idea that would solve that would address a few things. First of all, we wanted to build something that was really smart. It had to be a technical solution, but we also had a vision for using technology to do some greater good. Okay, we wanted to solve real life problems using truly smart technology, and I explored all sorts of options, including a drone transportation device for paramedics, trying to get to victims on a motorway. But eventually ended up learning that there is a very interesting niche for integrators like us that was untapped, and at the same time it overlapped with the environmental aspect that people are growing kind of more aware of, and that's leak prevention and water monitoring. What we realized by doing our research was that almost everyone has a smoke alarm. How many of you have smoke alarms in your homes?
Hopefully everybody.
Basically, almost everyone. How many of you have intruder alarms? Well, not as many as there should be, because apparently about 54% of the population have intruder alarms. But we've learned that only 3% of people have any leak detection solution. And based on insurance data, we knew that leaks cause more damage than fires and thefts combined. So there was obviously a big market opportunity that no one tapped into. So the question was, how do we now combine it with truly smart technology? We didn't have much money, so I've applied to the UK government for a grant. They gave us £100,000 to develop a proof of concept prototype. That was 4 years ago. We spent probably 9 months trying to figure it out, how to do it in a way that would create a product that was a new category for the custom install industry. It was relatively inexpensive, so that we could gain traction and create something not just for the ultra wealthy, but more for, let's call them mass affluent. Not necessarily a mass market yet, but mass affluent. And at the same time was really clever. So we managed to develop first machine learning algorithm. We've developed a hardware prototype. We've proven that it works. And then other business priorities took over, and we had to park it. We shelved it for a couple of years.
Oh, interesting.
In the meantime, I started an insurance business.
Wow. How funny.
Where we were using smart technology to prevent bad things from happening. So if you bought an insurance policy from us, we would give you smart technology for free. Basically, a selection of door window contacts, motion sensors, smoke sensors, and a camera, so that we can try and prevent as many kind of issues in the house as possible, and therefore pay out less claims. It was a very successful business. I managed to exit to Aviva, the kind of European largest insurer last year, and all the money that I pocketed, I pumped into Hero Labs. Restarted the project, and here we are. It took us a bit more, it's about a year now, which we spent on developing the original prototype further, and we're here to launch our first product called Sonic. Sonic is basically a very smart flow meter with an integrated shutter valve. It uses ultrasonic sensors to detect really low flow of water. We can detect water dripping every second, which is 10 times more accurate than turbine-based water meters that you normally have in your home. We've got a pressure sensor. We've got 2 temperature sensors for water temperature and ambient temperature. And all of that is sent over to our cloud, where we have really nice kind of number crunching scripts, machine learning that allows us to make sense of what's happening within your household. We analyze water flow and we can distinguish different appliances. So we can recognize the washing machine, a dishwasher, your faucet, your shower, your irrigation system. And once we've learned what's normal in your household, we can start seeing suspicious activity. So a small leak or a burst pipe that then is classified as a leak, and we can automatically shut off water supply to prevent damage.
Yep. Okay. That's awesome. Now I can find out exactly and prove to my kids how long they've taken their showers, because that's a pet peeve of mine. Let's move on to Andrew. Tell me about your company, Cavo.
Well, it's great to be here. I'll start with a little bit of trends and backgrounds, because we talked about trends in the industries. And really the way I entered this industry was when TV was simple and the best content was coming to the television. And so I started building sling boxes to move the premium content that was on TV to our mobile devices. And I think since then there's this boom in streaming content. And now we have multiple streaming services, multiple apps, multiple remote controls, and we've created this whole new category of problem. And so the idea behind Cavo was, can we build a super smart HDMI switch with machine vision that understands what all the devices are connected to it, where all the content resides, and give users a voice remote where they can speak into it and say, I'm looking for NBC, we just tune to that channel. Doesn't matter what input you're on. I want to see Modern Family, where is it available? We'll show you every season, every episode, take you right there. So Control Center is really all about having one simple interface with video overlay. So it's on the TV, it's not a second screen, you don't have to look down at some touch keyboard. You look at your TV, you say what you want to watch, we present a visual UI, and you can access anything. So if you're looking for YouTube content, Hulu content, Netflix, live TV, DVR, Plex, we even have a Sonos integration now. So if you have Sonos speakers connected in your house, you can control all your Sonos. So it's really about how do you take one simple interface, put it on the best screen in your house, and just make it really easy for people to use.
That's very cool and a real problem that you are solving, and one that I have a challenge with in my own house.
Yeah.
So let's just go back around one more time, because I heard people talk about their histories. I'd like to know, how long have you been working on your product? From idea to you are here today.
Well, the idea first came back when I did some custom installations back in the 90s. But this really spawned about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago.
How long?
About 2 years ago almost.
2 years. Okay. Nate.
Well, I've also been about 2 years. It was
From idea to conception?
That's right. Yeah, I think I was 2 years ago that we kind of started. I started with the open source application, and a little less than 2 years ago, I did a crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter. That went really well, and for the past 20 months or so, we've sold over 20,000 units. So I have tens of thousands of real customers using the connected alarm panel. And today, here at CEDIA, we've in the last year been working on re-engineering and improving the hardware to make it palatable for the professional installer, the dealer, and that's why we're here at CEDIA, to show it to the world and to really move out of the DIY early adopter community and into the professional community of dealers and installers.
Okay. Jeffrey, how long?
We're probably looking at about 8 years ago.
8 years.
Started with just traditional LED lighting when it first started becoming popular in the marketplace. Added color probably about 5 years ago, and worked through the various reiterations that have to happen from a technology standpoint. We've built our own mesh networking system, and then of course the integration with home automation systems.
All right, Christian, I know you mentioned it took a long time, but how long?
Well, so the original proof of concept prototype was a few months, I guess. I think it's about 9 months. And then this last year that we really kind of expedited everything. But we had an unfair advantage because many of my employees at my former company, the insurance business, switched over. So we had all the experience that we needed to launch the product very fast.
Were those the ones you locked in a room?
Yes, as well as a few others. So there's, I think that there's 8 of them who've already kind of followed me to the new venture. So,
all right.
Plus, we have industry heavyweights with us. Our commercial director Hamish Neal worked for Control 4 and Crestron, and Barco. So we had all the knowledge and experience to make it as fast as possible.
That's pretty cool. All right, and Andrew, idea to where you are today.
Yeah, so we started our venture about 4 years ago, and we launched into consumer retail. We're in every Best Buy about a year ago. And this is our first CEDIA show because we're really interested in how to extend our solution to the pro markets. So we're really here to get feedback on our solution. We're showcasing integration with Crestron. So please come by the booth, check it out. I think you'll find it pretty powerful, and we're looking to do integrations with other control systems as well.
Yeah, and I'd like to say again, please go by the booths and check out everything. So thank you very much for telling us about your products. Let's give them a round of applause to learn about the products. And I'd like to invite the judges back up on stage, and we are going to announce who we have selected as the winner of the TechStarter. Maybe we'll switch spots to be adventurous, if you want to be. All right, so before we get on to the winner, I'd like to see if there's any last thoughts from, you guys want to sit or you want to stand? Want to sit? Let's be elegant and sit. Any last thoughts about anything that you heard about the presentations, anything else you want to add to this session?
I just really enjoyed hearing all those backstories. I think we gave these panelists, or these companies, less than 5 minutes to give their entire demos, their pitches, everything when we were judging, and we missed a lot of those details the first time around. Super impressive, and I would just like to acknowledge how impressive all of these guys are. Really great stuff.
Yeah, and we did leave when the 5-minute clock was there. We were gone, so if you didn't get it all in, oh well. Hi, Guy, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I enjoyed listening to everybody here, and it's really great for me to walk through and see things that I haven't seen before, hear things I haven't heard before, and it's great that there are viable solutions that these new entry exhibitors are bringing to the show and bringing value to the integrator. So good for you and good for us. Thank you.
All right, last thing I want to do is ask both of you, at inception of your idea to when you had a product, Alex, since I asked these other guys and you were in Innovation Alley?
March of 2015, so about 4.5 years for us. Oh, from when we started till now, we were in market in 6 months. Hardware was 14 months from idea to shipping, so we move very fast.
She's a whiz. All right, Hagai.
So I'm the exact opposite. This is completely organic, and I was a one-man show for about 3 years. And the first managed network that I deployed in a client's home, I met an integrator there and was exposed to the one product that connected to that network, which was a Crestron processor. And then I started learning about Crestron and the integrators business, and it was a very slow moving train. It's also, I was very early to market with this idea. So really started in 2002. First team member that I hired was in 2007. Second team member was 2010, and now we're 40 people. So it took a long time, but I just stayed the course because I really believed that Ethernet and Wi-Fi are going to win the connectivity game, and now everything we got here is somehow connected.
All right, so two guys that started out here and ended up with successful businesses, so all the TechStarter FIVE. That's cool to see. So let's now announce who has won. Tabitha, I'm going to let you know, I'm going to let you say who is the winner.
Thank you very much. I have the honor of announcing our winner today, Hero Lab.
All right, let's give him a hand. Come on up, Christian. We have a small check to present to you. Are we coming? We bring it up? Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Thank you. You played it well.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to take a little photo here.